In this video, I'll be talking about China's Belt and Road Initiative and how it relates to the reading from the Anti-Politics Machine by James Ferguson. The Belt and Road Initiative, or BRI, is a development initiative that was implemented by the Chinese government in 2013. The program involves the Chinese government investing billions of dollars in infrastructure development, education, and real estate in dozens of different countries in Europe, Asia, and Africa. The goal of the project is to enhance regional connectivity and integration in order to improve trade relations and growth in developing countries. In the Anti-Politics Machine, Ferguson talks about how many development organizations frame development through a very narrow lens. They fail to take into account why a country is a certain way and sweep aside the history and politics that make countries the way they are. Instead, they create the development version of a country, where every problem can be easily solved through infrastructure, economic reforms, and government intervention. This approach to development is the trap that I think China's BRI falls into a little. In trying to aid these countries in economic development, China ignores many of the political and structural causes of poverty and only chooses to invest in large-scale infrastructure projects. In addition to this, China doesn't enforce any strict corruption, human rights, or financial sustainability standards, which also plays into Ferguson's argument that many development projects are not comprehensively addressing the real problems. Ferguson also explains that most development projects fit into a development narrative. Development agencies have specific packages and they look for a specific kind of problem that can be solved with technical solutions. China has historically pursued an infrastructure-based development strategy and is a world leader in engineering and construction expertise. With the BRI, it is leveraging its infrastructure skill and claiming that the recipient countries only need infrastructure development so that the development narrative fits into China's specific package of abilities. Finally, Ferguson argues that because many development organizations are made up of government contributions, development often takes the form that governments want it to and become anti-politics. In this case, the development organization is a government, which makes the phenomenon even more prominent. China's motivations for implementing the BRI are economic and political. It wants to reduce trade barriers and improve economic growth, and it also wants to extend its influence in the region and gain power. In the past 5 years that the BRI has been implemented, China has not engaged in looking at any political issues in the countries it's operating in, because that could endanger the project and possibly cause reforms that would hurt its own interests, even though reform may be the best way to help certain countries develop. The politics of these countries and of China itself are serving its interests and helping it uphold this development initiative, so China has no incentive to shake things up and help start political revolutions. However, in recent years, some of the recipient countries have even joined the backlash against the BRI because they feel like the development projects are not truly helping their countries, especially with such relaxed safeguards and standards, which shows how this approach is failing. Overall, China's BRI fits into Ferguson's model of ineffective development programs because of how it creates a development narrative, focuses only on infrastructure, and ignores political factors.